Hey guys, welcome back to Bonita Lifestyle Podcast. Hey guys, what is up? In today's episode, I'm gonna do a little different episode today. I'm actually going for a walk right now. That's one of the fun things about doing just audio. You get to do it wherever you want at any time. So if I sound like I'm breathing hard, it's because I'm walking. But yeah, in today's episode, I want to talk about, well, not uh, more like remind you guys. I want to remind you guys, like if you're having a bad moment in your life, maybe you're struggling financially, maybe you're struggling with a partner, maybe you're struggling with a friend, maybe you're struggling without a job, maybe you're struggling at your job, maybe you're struggling with a friend, anything that you guys are struggling with at this moment. I just want to remind you guys that you guys got this, and I want to remind you that problems are part of life. We're not the only ones that we're struggling. You know, we're not the only ones struggling in any way. Like, everybody is going through something. We're all fighting even our own demons. Like, maybe you're struggling with yourself, maybe you're struggling to stay, consistent with maybe working out or eating good. Like, you keep telling yourself, oh, like this time I really am gonna lock in, and then you end up falling back. Like, give yourself grace and do it again the next day. Like, okay, like maybe throughout the day messed up on your diet and you ended up eating like shit. Start again the next day and start again. Like, the more you do it, the more you tell yourself, okay, like I could do this. Like, I could fall back 1,000 times and pick myself up 1,001 times. So yeah, just, one day at a time. Take it easy, one day at a time. If you have family, if you have friends that are supportive, maybe talking to them. If you have somebody to talk to them. If you know they're gonna give you good advice or uplift you in some way, that's another way of helping yourself. But yeah, just keep going. Don't give up. Life could really knock us down sometimes, but it's in those moments that we really to take our power back and be like, all right, like I'm going through this. This is difficult, but I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna figure it out as I go. One day at a time. Like, we might not even have the answers. And that's the thing, that's the scary thing. And that's why we paralyze ourselves, because we fear that we don't know what's gonna happen next. We fear the worst, because we're not being optimistic. We just think, oh, like this is it for me, or this shit sucks. And sometimes, like sometimes you do have to complain about it. Be like, you know what? This fucking sucks. I don't know how I'm gonna get up from this. You like feel it. I feel like sitting with ourselves and acknowledging how we feel, like it really helps us move forward faster. That's one thing I do. Like, when I'm going through it, like I just sit with myself. Like, going for a walk is one of my best, coping skills, therapy, call it what you want. Like, it's one of my best ways to feel better. I feel like moving my body helps me like get out of that funk of feeling like shit or not knowing what's gonna happen next. Because struggle is like, we could struggle in so many ways. I feel like for me, like lately I've been struggling to like be positive. It's like the more you want to be positive, it's like you keep falling back to like negative patterns, and it's like now, instead of ignoring it or maybe trying to sugarcoat it with positivity, I take those moments to like, okay, I'm feeling like this. Okay, I'm gonna keep feeling what I'm feeling. See what comes up. Acknowledge how I'm feeling and keep moving forward. And it might take a few days. Honestly, it's not like you just say it and like magically like everything disappears, because the struggle is still there. It's just switching our perspective to like, okay, like I'm struggling right now with this, with my mental health, with my health. Like maybe you have like a sickness, like a chronic disease that you're battling or something. Just one day at a time. I feel like accepting how we feel is one of the fastest ways to move forward and feel better, because at the end of the day, like what we want is to feel good. And every time, like maybe you encounter something that you don't like, an emotion that you don't like, instead of ignoring it, like feel it. I feel like that's one of the things that has helped me, because I didn't realize for a long time how I ignored certain emotions. I thought, something was wrong with me. Like, I thought like I was just like a broken person, like that I didn't know how to handle my own emotions. But realizing that it's part of life. One of the things I like about Tony Robbins, that he says that one of the biggest problems that people have is that we think that we're not supposed to have problems. So that makes it a big problem, because when we have problems, then we're like overthinking, stressing, going through it because we don't want to have a problem, because we think life is just supposed to be sunshine and rainbows, and that's not the way it is. I feel like life is always gonna test us, and that's like a forever thing. Life is always gonna test us in deep ways, and it's just getting through it. But it's getting through it that it's the uncomfortable, that the uncomfortable stuff that we have to go through. And it's getting through it that we find ourselves on the other side. That's another thing I've learned. It's like anything, like we want to be fit, we want to be physically fit, we have to go through the discomfort of working out, of putting our bodies through like major stress to gain muscle or to get lean. It's having those moments of like even eating great, like it's could be painful sometimes, because like you probably want to eat something so delicious, so bad. Like me, I've been craving coffee, but I'm not gonna have it until I'm done with the part. I've been craving coffee like crazy, and I'm like, and I noticed that I had made coffee like my comfort zone, like I would remember, not that I love coffee, I'm like, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like so out of it sometimes, because I'm like, sometimes like you just get a coffee for no reason. Like in the morning because, oh yeah, my breakfast. When you're going through a sad moment, oh, like, let me just grab a coffee. Or something that you're like into, like you just, like sometimes we eat for emotional support. And that's where it gets bad, because if we don't realize it, if we don't recognize those patterns, we continue to do them for the rest of our lives. Like, what do you go through that when you go through like a bad moment, what exactly do you go through? Not go through, what do you go to when you're going through a difficult moment? But for some people, it's drinking. It's like, let me just have a beer, I'm stressed out, or let me just eat this pie or something sweet, because that'll make me feel better. And it's like we look for all these external things, right, to make us feel better instead of dealing with our own stuff, our own demons, our own issues. So it's making that self inventory, like I always like to say, like really, like check ourselves, like, okay, like I'm going through this. It's having that self-awareness. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. It's having that self-awareness of like, okay, like every time I go through a hard moment, I fall into these bad habits. Every time I feel this way, I fall into these negative patterns that are not serving me, that I don't like, and I need to change them. And changing is hard. It really is, because it's like you have to kill like your version of now to overcome any obstacles you're trying to change. And like if you're trying to better yourself, maybe physically you're trying to get into working out, but you keep wanting to be comfortable. You don't want to take the time to work out, and it feels painful, especially if it's something you've never done. But the more you do it, even if you just start walking, the more you do it, the more you're gonna feel good, the more you're gonna be like, oh, like I didn't realize how good this feels in my body. And when I do this, I feel more happy, more resilient when I'm going through stuff. Because that's one thing I've noticed. Like for me, like working out helps me like be more resilient. It helps me deal with my stuff in a more healthy way, rather than just suppressing my shit and not dealing with it or ignoring it. Because for a long time I didn't realize that like I would do those things, and until like one day the day came where it's like you bottle so much up that that it has to come out, and it starts coming out in super unhealthy ways. You end up hurting your family, you end up hurting the people you love, because you don't know how to deal with your own stuff. And when you don't know how to deal with your own stuff, you can't help others when they're going through their stuff. And yeah, just take it easy, guys. If you guys are going through anything hard, just remember it's part of life. And take it one day at a time. I'm out of breath right now. I probably sound crazy on this episode, and then it's really windy outside. Up here in Hesperia, it's always super windy. But it's cool, I guess. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys have a good week. I hope you guys find ways to help yourself. Whatever helps you, like feel better, get back up. Like find those things for you guys. What works for you guys? Like I said, maybe it's going for a walk. Maybe it's listening to a podcast that inspires you, encourages you to get back up. Those are, I'm saying the ones that help me. That's what helps me. But I mean, whatever helps you, it could be therapy. It could be talking to a friend that you really trust, or a family member that you really trust, to help you get through whatever, But sometimes I feel like getting advice from somebody you look up to is also very important. Like, don't just get advice from somebody that you don't want the kind of life they want, because sometimes they could give you the wrong advice thinking that's best for you, but it's actually something that's best for them. You know, really think about that. And, you know, choose wisely in that area. And, you know, sometimes you might have to just talk it out with God. I like to do that all the time. I like to talk it out with God. You know, when I go on walks, that's one of my favorite things to do. It's I talk to God. You know, I let him know how I'm feeling. What are my challenges at the moment, and how can I get through it? You know, I have all these long conversations with God. You know, whatever helps you. You know, yeah, guys. Well, I hope you guys this helps you in some way, and I hope you guys have a great week. And remember to stay strong. You guys are strong. Anything you go through, anything that breaks you, it's actually building you. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. And until next time, bye.